Huh?
My daughter, you are not growing younger. Get married, please. I don't want to. This is ridiculous.
Why did you do this to me?
In a busy Indian city, where dreams rise every morning and traditions never sleep, there lived a woman named Dia Sharma. She was 28, independent, educated, respected at work. But at home, she was treated like a problem that needed fixing. Because in her family, a woman's success meant nothing without marriage. Every morning began the same way. Her mother would place wedding photos on the dining table, one after another, as if her future could be chosen like items in a shop.
I think this one matches well. Maybe.
Dia would listen silently, not because she agreed, but because she had learned something painful early in life. In her house, silence hurt less than resistance. Her father never shouted, but his silence carried weight. Every glance meant the same thing. Accept it. Move on. Do what is expected. And Dia slowly learned to smile through pressure. But inside her, something was always breaking quietly, because no one in her home knew the truth. Dia had already once believed in love, and that belief had destroyed her.
Why did you do this to me?
5 years ago, Dia was not the same woman. She laughed more. She trusted easily. She believed life would always make sense.
I can't believe we pulled it off. That was amazing. I know, right? Best presentation ever. We should celebrate tonight.
That was when she met him, Rohan Mehta.
Hi, I'm Rohan. What's your name?
I'm Dia. Nice to meet you.
He was not wealthy, not powerful, not perfect, but he had something rare. He listened, really listened, like her thoughts mattered, like her silence had meaning. They met in college library. One question turned into a conversation. One conversation turned into friendship. Friendship turned into something deeper, something neither of them could explain at first. They walked together after classes, talked for hours without noticing time, sat in silence without feeling awkward, and slowly, Dia began to believe something she had never believed before, that maybe love could be simple. One evening, under a fading orange sky, Rohan looked at her and said softly,
I don't want a perfect life. I just want a life with you in it.
Dia didn't answer immediately, because for the first time, her heart was louder than her thoughts. And when she finally smiled, that smile changed everything. Music soft but unstable, emotional tension rising. But love does not grow alone. It grows under conditions, and pressure always finds its way in. Dia's mother noticed first. The late phone calls, the changed expressions, the quiet happiness that didn't belong to family conversations. One evening, her mother asked directly,
Who is he? Who are you talking about, Mummy? I've been noticing you.
Dia stayed silent. That silence was enough. Her father reacted differently. Not anger, but disappointment.
He has nothing to offer you.
He offers me peace. Will peace bring food on the table? You will marry our choice.
But from that moment, something changed in the house. Marriage discussions increased. Suitors began arriving. Photos were shown again and again, as if Dia's life was a problem waiting for correction. And Rohan slowly noticed her fading.
Dia, why are you not replying to my messages? Why are you not picking my calls? What's happening?
Music turns emotional, slightly dark. Dia began canceling meetings, replying late, avoiding conversations, not because she stopped caring, but because she was drowning in expectations. One night, Rohan asked her,
Dia, are they forcing you? Talk to me, please.
They just want what is best for me.
And what about what you want?
silence. That silence was the beginning of everything breaking, because Dia didn't have an answer, not because she didn't know, but because she was afraid of saying it out loud. And then, one day, Rohan disappeared. No message, no call, no explanation, just silence. Dia waited. A day, 2 days, a week, nothing. She went to his place. Empty, gone. And that moment became the wound that never healed. Music turns heavy, emotional grief tone. Dia didn't cry loudly. She didn't break things. She didn't ask questions. She simply sat in her room, holding her phone, waiting for something that would never come. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, Dia stopped believing in love. Not because she hated it, but because she survived it. And survival changes people. Then one night, a message arrived. Unknown number. Only one line. Don't look for me. It's better this way. No explanation. No closure. Just silence turned into words. And that night, something inside Dia shut down permanently. She stopped expecting love. Stopped trusting promises. Stopped believing people stay. And in that silence, her family believed she had moved on. But in reality, she had only stopped feeling. 5 years passed. Dia became successful, independent, respected in her job. But at home, nothing changed. Marriage pressure returned stronger than before. This is your final chance. This family is waiting. You are not getting younger. Dia listened quietly, because silence had become her armor. But everything changed the day Arjun arrived, a childhood acquaintance.
Hey Dia, it's been a long time. How are you?
Arjun, what a pleasant surprise.
Someone who looked at her differently, not like a project to fix, but like a person who was tired. And for the first time in years, someone noticed her silence.
Dia, are you okay? Your face isn't the same as the happy girl I know.
Yes, Arjun, I'm fine.
But what neither of them knew was that the past was not gone. It was still alive, still moving, still unfinished. And somewhere in the city, Rohan Mehta had returned, not as a memory, not as a ghost, but as a truth waiting to be revealed. Because some stories don't end with time. They end when the truth finally decides to speak. 5 years of silence had trained Dia Sharma into something unusual. She had learned how to sit in a room full of pressure and still look calm.
You must listen to us.
This is for your own good.
Just think about it, please.
She had learned how to hear her mother's expectations without reacting, and she had learned how to survive conversations without saying what she truly felt. But something changed. The day Arjun started noticing her, he didn't look at her like others did, not as a woman late for marriage, not as a problem to solve, but as someone carrying a weight too heavy to explain. One evening, after yet another forced marriage discussion, Arjun stayed back at the house. Everyone else had left. The silence between them felt different now, less polite, more honest. He looked at Dia quietly and said,
You don't have to pretend with me.
I'm not pretending.
No, you're surviving.
That one sentence stayed in the air longer than anything else. That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. Something about Dia's eyes didn't match her story. She didn't look like someone avoiding marriage. She looked like someone avoiding memory. So he did something simple. He searched the past. Rohan Mehta. The name Dia never spoke, but her silence always reacted to. First, nothing made sense. No social presence. No clear records. Almost like he had been erased. That alone was strange. People don't just disappear in a city like this, unless someone wants them gone. Arjun followed traces instead. Old college records, old friends, abandoned digital footprints, and slowly, a pattern began forming.
No. This goes deeper than I thought. This connects them. They're all connected.
Rohan wasn't missing. He was removed from visibility. That word stuck in Arjun's mind.
Removed. Not lost. Not gone. Removed.
Arjun found something unusual. A corporate connection. A powerful business group tied indirectly to Dia's family associates. And Rohan had once worked there, before everything broke, before he vanished. But what shocked Arjun most was the timing. Rohan disappeared exactly when Dia's family began increasing marriage pressure. Exactly when her father started rejecting the relationship. It didn't feel like coincidence anymore. It felt coordinated. Arjun whispered to himself.
This wasn't a breakup. This was a removal.
That same week, Dia saw him again. Not in memory, not in dreams, but in real life, across the street, standing still, watching her. Rohan Mehta, alive. For a moment, time collapsed. The noise of the city faded. Even her breath stopped obeying her. He didn't smile. He didn't move forward. He just stood there, like someone who had walked through fire to reach that moment. Dia stepped forward slowly. Her voice broke before she could control it.
Why are you here?
Rohan didn't answer immediately, because the truth was heavier than the question. Then he whispered, I didn't leave you. Dia froze, because that sentence didn't match her entire life story. Before she could speak again, a car passed between them, and when it was gone, he had vanished again. Arjun couldn't ignore what he saw anymore. He pushed deeper. He contacted old sources, ex-collages, records, internal documents, and what he found broke everything he assumed. Rohan hadn't disappeared willingly. He had been pressured, threatened, and systematically erased from Dia's life. A formal warning document surfaced, but official enough to be real. Terminate contact with Dia Sharma. Further communication will result in consequences. Arjun stared at it for a long time, because this wasn't romance anymore. It was control. Meanwhile, Dia sat alone in her room, still replaying the encounter, still trying to make sense of it. Her mind kept telling her two conflicting stories. One, he abandoned her. The other, he was taken from her. And both felt real, and both hurt differently. That night, Arjun arrived at her home, holding files. His hands were shaking, not from fear, but from responsibility. He looked at Dia and said, You need to hear this.
He didn't leave you by choice. He was forced to disappear. And if he stayed, you would have been targeted too.
Silence filled the room. Not emotional silence. Not dramatic silence. Truth silence. The kind that changes everything. Dia slowly stood up. Her voice barely came out. So, all this time, Arjun nodded. Yes. Dia's eyes filled slowly. Not with anger. Not yet. With confusion. With realization breaking through denial. Because now, the story she lived for 5 years was no longer true. And somewhere in the city, Rohan was still watching, still waiting, still unable to step forward, because the system that removed him once was still not fully gone. And this time, coming back, might destroy everything again. The night was silent, too silent. Dia sat alone in her room, holding her phone like it was the only thing keeping her alive. Days had passed. No calls, no messages, nothing, just emptiness. Then, her phone lit up. Unknown number. Her breath stopped. For a moment, she didn't move. She just stared at it, like it was staring back at her. And when she opened it, her world shattered again. A message. One line. Not everything ended the day he left. Dia's hands trembled. Her heart raced. For years, she believed Rohan left her, that he chose silence, that he walked away. But now, something didn't feel right. Her chest tightened, because pain has a way of recognizing truth before the mind does. And for the first time, she questioned everything. Somewhere else in the city, Rohan Mehta was not a memory. He was real, breathing, watching, waiting, but not waiting for love, waiting for the truth to surface. Because what Dia never knew was that Rohan didn't disappear by choice. He was removed, silenced, forced out of a life he never stopped loving. Years ago, a decision was made, in a quiet room, with calm voices and heavy intentions. Dia's father sat across from men who spoke in silence more than words. Rohan's name was mentioned.
Rohan must leave my daughter's life. Should we kill him? No. Just separate them.
Then dismissed, like he didn't matter, like love could be negotiated. And that night, a life was redirected, a future rewritten, without Dia ever knowing. Back in the present, Dia stood up, her breath shaky, her eyes burning. For years, she had been silent. She had obeyed. She had smiled through pressure. But not anymore. She walked into the living room, where her parents sat calmly, unaware of the storm inside her. And she spoke, quietly, but for the first time, her voice did not break.
You told me he left. Was that the truth?
Silence, heavy silence. And then, the truth began to crack. Her father didn't shout. He didn't defend. He didn't explain quickly. He just looked at her. And for the first time, Dia saw something she had never seen before. Not authority, not control, but regret. Deep, unspoken. Because some decisions can never be undone, only carried. Across the city, Rohan stood still, watching the same sky Dia was under. He finally decided. No more waiting, no more silence, because truth always finds its way back. He picked up his phone and sent one message. I'm here. Across the city, Rohan was waiting, not running anymore. Not hiding, just waiting. When Dia arrived, everything stopped. Years of distance collapsed in a single moment. They didn't speak at first, because words were too small for what they had survived. Rohan finally spoke, softly.
I never left you by choice.
Dia's eyes filled. All the pain she carried shifted, not disappeared, but understood. For the first time, the story made sense. Back home, truth had already changed everything. Her mother was silent. Her father different now. Not controlling, not forcing, just human. And slowly, he looked at Dia and nodded, not as authority, but as a father, accepting her choice. Arjun stood alone, watching from distance. He understood everything without being told. No anger, no jealousy, just quiet acceptance. Because he never owned her, he only cared for her peace. And now, she had found it. Days passed. This time, nothing was hidden. No pressure, no fear, only truth. Rohan and Dia met freely, like they were allowed to exist again, like time had finally corrected itself. And slowly, love returned. Not the childish kind, but the kind that survives pain. One evening, under a soft golden sky,
I feel like everything is finally falling into place.
It is. I knew it would, as long as we were together.
Rohan took her hands. No speeches, no drama, just honesty.
I don't want a perfect life. I just want a life with you in it.
Dia smiled. Not forced, not painful, real. For the first time, she didn't hesitate. The temple bells rang softly. Flowers everywhere. Family gathered. Not out of pressure, but acceptance. Dia walked forward in her wedding attire. Not as someone being given away, but as someone choosing her life. Rohan stood waiting, and when their eyes met, everything they endured finally made sense. The pain, the silence, the distance, all of it led here. Some love stories are not about finding someone new. They are about finding your way back to the person who never stopped waiting. And sometimes, the hardest journeys end in the most beautiful beginnings. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe for more interesting Indian tales like this. And comment if you enjoyed Dia and Rohan's love story. Stay tuned for the next Indian tales, because the next story will be more interesting. Thanks for watching.